Hello and welcome to Katrina's Creations. As you're watching this, I've already had my surgery. I'm filming it, it's the day before I have surgery, but by the time you're watching it, it would have happened the day before. Now that I've totally confused you. But anyway, like I said, as you're watching it, it's already taken place. This week has been crazy. I have gotten some crafting done, not as much as I would have liked to have gotten done. It's been busy between work and my father-in-law. Dave's dad is not doing real well. He's been having some health problems for quite a while now, but ever since Easter, he's been in and out of the hospital like every week or so. And so he is home now, but off and on during the week, we've been going back and forth to the hospital first and then back and forth to their house to try to help out, and they live about 40 minutes away from where we live. So, yeah, it's been a little busy. And then our church is getting ready for Vacation Bible School. I won't be in it this year because of the surgery, but we did go and help them set up this week. And then it was our week to clean the church because we all take turns of cleaning the church. So I thought I would insert some footage of what our Vacation Bible School looks like this time. You'll see some of the people helping set up for it. And our theme this year was outer space. So you'll see some modules, and it kind of looks like Star Trek a little bit. And all the stuff that you see in the pictures, they actually light up. When I took the pictures, the lights weren't working because the men were still trying to figure out why the Christmas lights weren't coming on, and you know how Christmas lights are. Half of them light, half of them don't. Yeah, so anyway, things on there are going to light up and make noises, but that wasn't working quite yet. So I'm going to insert that footage so you can see what it looks like. Now, a couple other little administrative things before I actually get into the podcast. Number one of the viewers, Lisa, actually had told me I should mention this, and it actually is a good idea because a lot of people don't understand how YouTube works. You do not make a whole lot of money on YouTube. In fact, YouTube doesn't really pay you at all. The money that you make on YouTube, you have to have over 1,000 subscribers before they even look at you. And you actually make money from the ads that play on the video during and before the video actually starts. So, like I said, YouTube does not pay much. I average about 10 to 15 hours per week of working with the channel, and yeah, I've made $100 this year. So and that's not really why I'm doing it. I enjoy it, and I like chatting with all you guys, and it's a lot of fun, and I've met a lot of you that I now consider my friends. But if you would like to help me out by watching those crazy little ads that run at the beginning of the video that run for about 15 seconds. The longer they run, the more money I make. So not just for my channel, but other small channels, if you see they've got ads and you just let them run for, that 15 seconds or whatever, it does help those channels out as well as my channel out. So just a little note for that. And if you give a thumbs up on videos, that also helps us out because it bumps our videos over to the recommended list, so more people will stop by and check it out. So the last thing I wanted to talk about really quick was to ask for you guys' input. I've been trying to keep the videos a little shorter. On average, my weekly Saturday videos run about 40 to 45 minutes. Let me know if you think that's too long, or whether I've been toying with the idea of splitting the video up so you would get more videos per week, but they would be shorter segments. So I would maybe do my works in progress and finished objects and the show and tell section, and then on another video do the sales and the acquisitions and stuff. So just let me know what you think about it. If you think the videos are fine, let me know that too. Or if you think maybe shorter or splitting them up, I'm just looking to see what I can do to improve the channel. So anyway, if you have any suggestions, I would love to hear them. So please stick them down in the comments down below. I would appreciate that. So now let's get started. I started with my sweater. This is the summer sweater that I am working on. And there's my stitch marker right here. So I knit up about 1.5 inches. And that's kind of what I'm averaging, is between 1.5 inches and 2 inches per week. Just because it's about 400 stitches all the way around. So this is how tall it is now. I have a couple more inches before I'll be separating for the sleeves. So hopefully, with the surgery that I'm having done with my knee, I'm going to be off work starting today, which is 2 days ago for you guys. I'm going to be off for a month while I go through recovery, mainly because climbing in and out of a truck that's got a 2-foot step up with knee surgery, I don't want to re-damage anything until it's really healed before I go climbing in and out again. So I'm off for a month. I'm hoping I can get a lot of crafting done during that time. But anyway, that is this project and how far I have gotten with it. I also worked a little bit on my spinning. Now, the other week I had showed you some merino that I had spun, and this is only about 1/4 of what I have of this particular fiber. I spun about 1/4 of the alpaca, and I'm going to ply these together. That's going to be a video coming up in a couple of weeks where I'm going to show how to do it. And plying is where you're going to take, dropped the bobbin. Plying is where you're going to take the 2 strands and they get twisted together. So they, like what you see with commercial yarns where they're wrapped and twisted. That's what plying is. And I'm going to demonstrate how to do that on a spinning wheel. That is going to be an upcoming video for one of the Wednesdays. So be watching for that. Then if you remember the other week, I showed you my cozy memory blanket that I had finished. And if you watched Wednesday's video, I showed how to do the I-cord edging. So the last 2 weeks have been about that mitered square blanket. 1 week showed how to do the mitered square, and 1 week showed how to do the I-cord for those. I will try to put them up here, and if you click on those, that'll take you over to them. But those have been my last 2 Wednesday videos. So now I started on a scrappy crochet blanket that I want to make the same size. And I had told you last week I wanted to do the granny stripe. The granny stripe blanket is pretty much like 3 double crochet, chain 1 or chain 2 or 3, I think it is, and then 3 double crochet. And I started doing it, and to be honest, I found it extremely boring, and I really didn't like the holes in it that it created because it's granny square that's just running back and forth. I don't know, I just found it a little boring. So what I started with, and I got about this far, and it's about 3 feet across because I'm making it the same size as my knitted one. I ripped that all out, and so then I tried doing it single crochet, which was also one of my original plans. And I thought, I've got to be out of my mind to start doing that because it was going to take me forever since each row was about that big. Then I decided I could crochet a mitered square blanket, but do it with crochet instead. So I started doing that, and in theory that should work if you just, crochet 16 stitches and chain 3 or decrease 3 together and then 16 more stitches. It should work. And it did. I just didn't like the look of it because it looked too much like the knitted version, and I want it to look distinctly crocheted. So that got ripped out. So after multiple tries, I have now come up with the pattern I am using, and I am doing the shell stitch. So this is as far as I've gotten. I'm on row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've gotten 5 rows. And this is just leftover fingering to sock weight yarn that I had, and I have rolled it up like this. This is actually what is called a magic ball. I did there's knots connecting all of these together. And if you want to learn how to do a magic knot, well, I guess first I should explain to you what a magic knot is. Magic knot is tying the 2 yarns together, and you can clip the little trailing end pieces so you don't have to worry about weaving them in. I mean, in crochet, it's not as big a deal because you can just crochet them right into the stitches as you go. Knitting, you could do that, but it's a little bit harder. So there's a thing called the magic knot, which is what Wednesday's video is going to be. It's going to be a demonstration on how to do magic knot. So, yeah, but that is what I am doing with my scrappy blanket because I've got lots of scraps still left over and little pieces of mini skeins and things like that. And I am using for this a 3.5 millimeter hook. And yeah, I like this. I don't like a lot of holes, and I just don't like the granny stitch look. I don't know. But I do like the shell stitch. I think it looks delicate, and it has just enough busyness where I don't have to concentrate on it, but it's not boring. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. My last work in progress has been my crochet design that is going to be a wrap. I've gotten further with this and then kept ripping it out. This is the center square that I have for the wrap. It's about a foot square at this point. Now it hasn't been blocked, so once I block it, it would come out a little bit more, but it's about a foot square. And here's what it looks like up close. And my idea, this is where I messed up. My idea is I'm going to tip it on its side. This is going to be a wrap, and the sides are going to come out on both sides this way. And I started doing that. I got about this much out, about 3 or 4 rows out, and realized that I was continuing up this direction. It wasn't going this direction. I just didn't think real clearly as I was designing it. So what I did have done got undone. So I've had a lot of ripping out. It's like one of those things where you go 2 steps forward, 1 step back all week. That's been my project. That's been the story of my life this week. So, yeah, that's how far I am. But the center square portion of the wrap is done. And now it's a matter of redesigning the sides so that they are level going across, not continuing going up like this. So that is my works in progress. Now, before I show what you all have made this week, I wanted to explain a few things because you guys really blew it out of the water this week with the show and tell. There are some fantastic designs in there this week. Some fantastic crafting has gone on. And I usually try to write a little bit about things as I'm showing it, but there wasn't enough room to put all the information in there, or I was afraid it would go by too fast and you wouldn't see it. So there was a couple that I did want to mention so that you could check them out further if you were interested. There is a pot holder pattern that Yoka did She didn't design the pattern. She made these pot holders, and I really like them. I need some new pot holders because mine are pretty disgusting looking after all this time. So I think I want to get some blue and some yellow so it'll match my kitchen and make some of these. If you like the pattern when you see it on her, on the show and tell, if you go to her blog spot, and I'll put her blog down here, if you go over there, you will find the blog that she wrote about these pot holders, and if you click the link, it will take you to the instructional, there's a tutorial on how to do it. So yeah, check that out. Then there is Demetra made a poncho, and it is a red heart pattern poncho, and it's really pretty, so you can go over there and check that out. There's also a puff, a footstool puff, like a footrest type of thing. And that is actually a Hobium pattern from Hobium Yarn. And it's free, and you can get the yarn from Hobium as well. And I think it's done with a chunkier yarn. But anyway, that is over there as well. Yoka also made my basket wave pattern out of some hand spun yarn that she had. So that was fun to see because it's in purple, and purple's one of my favorite colors anymore. And there's also, Demetra made something else that's really interesting, and I just wanted to bring it to your attention so you can be watching for it when you see the show and tell portion. She painted a picture, and then she made an Afghan for her nephew that is based on that picture. And I have a photo of the picture and a photo of the Afghan, and you'll see how similar they are in the colors. But that's not the only thing that's interesting about it. The other thing is she did filet crochet. So if you look closely at the show and tell, you will see that the names of her nephew and his wife-to-be and their wedding date are actually crocheted into the design. So it's pretty wild looking. So like I said, there's a lot of really neat things over there. There is a real lacy, open, summery cover-up that Pam did. There's just some fantastic things in there this week. I think even more so than normal. You guys always send me really interesting things to look at, but it just seemed like there was an abundance of goodies this week. So I hope you enjoy the show and tell segment. If you'd like us to show in the show and tell segment the things that you've made, please send me an email at Katrinascreations@yahoo.com with a picture. And if you've got the pattern name or what yarn you used, anything like that, that's great to include so the rest of us, if we want to make it, know what to do. You can also post it over on the Facebook page, which is Katrina Knits. So either of those will get to me, and then I will post them so everybody else can check it out and drool over your projects. So if you watched the little pop-up video that I did on Thursday, I got my Bluprint order in, and so let me show you what I got. In case you missed the video, there's 4 skeins of yarn. One is an antique. I have 3 skeins of antique white, 1 skein of a gray. It's called Graphite Heather, but it's a medium gray. And I am making this shawl pattern, which is called Swedish Lines. And here it is open more so you can see it. It has some eyelets, and it's a very basic beginner's pattern actually. And that is still currently available over on Bluprint for sale. The yarn and the pattern together are normally $47 because this is baby alpaca. So it's extremely soft. It's like a baby blanket. It's so soft. It's normally $47. They have it on sale. It's still currently on sale for $23.50. And you get to choose, when you order from Bluprint, you actually get to pick the colors. So I intentionally picked these colors. You get to choose a light color of yarn and the dark contrasting color. So I wanted neutrals, so I went with the white and the gray, but they had other colors I could have gone with. And I believe Knit Picks does their patterns the same way. I think maybe most of the yarn companies do that. When you sign up and buy a kit, you get to choose the colors. They don't normally automatically pick them for you. So, yeah, that's what I got. Oh, and I also bought just a single skein of Sprightly acrylic worsted, which is a high quality acrylic yarn. I've used it before, but I know I'm going to need, I was short 1 skein for a project I have coming up. Now I'm going to do a, what am I reading? I'm reading a lot. I've got 4 books lined up because I'm going to be off work for a week or for a month. I thought I would stock up on some things to read. So normally you know that I read a lot of knitting or crochet mysteries. I like cozy mysteries. In other words, mysteries without all the gore and the blood and the sex and the bad language. So they're clean murder mysteries. That's what I usually enjoy reading. But when I have caught up on all of my series for knitting and crochet mysteries, I have one series I always fall back to because there's like 30 in the series, so there's always something that I haven't read. So this is called the Donut Shop Mysteries. And this one, I believe, this is number 11. I just finished this one, actually. It's called Assault and Batter. And yes, there are donut recipes in here. I haven't tried any of them, but there are donut recipes in here. So those are always fun. And they're not a real long book. I mean, as you can see, they're fairly short. I think this was about 170 or 80 pages. So they're a quick read. They're light reading. So I just finished this one. I have 3 more to go. I have this one. I'm covering up the information here because I had to get this from outside my regular library. But this one is called Illegally Iced. And then I have Deep Fried Homicide and Sweet Suspects. And like I said, this is part of the Donut Shop mystery. The lady that is the main character in the story owns a donut shop, and she and her best friend, as well as the mayor, work together to solve mysteries that take place in their little North Carolina town. So they're fun, and so that's going to keep me busy with reading while I am recovering from my surgery. Now it's time for Come and Get It. Annie's has a bunch of crochet books right now on sale for $5. Yes, or under $5. So they also have knitting books on sale. Not all of the books are on sale, but there are some books that are on sale for under $5. That's over at Annie's. They also have, and I thought this was interesting because it's normally $14.99. It's on sale for $9.99. It is a 500 plus stitch crochet, and it comes with a CD or a DVD, I forget which, that you can listen to and learn what you're doing. So, or watch what you're doing. I learn better by watching, so I do better by having a DVD that I can watch somebody else rather than read how to do it. But different people learn different ways. That's just what works for me. Bluprint, as I mentioned, the pattern that I've got is still on sale for $23.50. You'd spend that for the yarn. So this, you get the yarn and the pattern. They do give you an immediate download, like this one I downloaded, but then they also send you a copy with the pattern itself, or with the kit. So you do get a printed pattern that they send you as well. So that is over at Bluprint. They also have other things on sale. And don't forget, any of these places that I'm telling you about, go over and check out their clearance sections. Because there's a lot of things that I don't mention that are going on with sales. I just try to pick things that I think would be interesting for people. Over at Consumer Crafts, they have the cart that I bought it's not on sale. It's regularly priced right now, but it's $29.97. And I'm going to insert a picture of the cart so you can see what I do with it. It is 30 inches tall, and it has 3 shelves. It's on rollers, and each of the shelves are about that deep, so you can store things down inside them. I use it to store my my planner. My computer sits on top of it. Any of the notebooks that I use for planning the videos for the podcasts and things, and then all of my project bags, everything sit right on top of, right in the shelves of this cart. I've seen people use them for a cleaning caddy, which I thought was really interesting if you have a big enough closet to store it in. Yeah, they had stored their cleaning supplies on the cart, and then they just rolled it around from room to room. So they're a handy thing to have. I'm enjoying mine totally, so I thought I would share that one with you. And they come in a ton of different colors. Mine is in silver, but they come in white and red and blue and pink. And rose gold, which was really pretty, but I didn't think my husband would appreciate really girly looking colors since it sits in the living room, so I got a boring gray. Create for Less has a yarn valet on sale for $12.99. Now, if you don't know what a yarn valet is, it's sort of like what you would have in the kitchen. It's a Lazy Susan, so it spins, and it has a post that sticks up through it. You put your yarn right on top of the post, like that. And then the caddy spins the yarn like this while you're pulling off of it. So your yarn doesn't go rolling around on the floor or anything. So that is over at Create for Less. Hobium Yarn, if you check out their Stars of the Month, they are selling their Yarn Art Melange, which is 185 yards of mercerized cotton, and it's a sport weight yarn. Which is about what this is. It's a fingering to sock sport. They're very, very similar. They're selling it for $2.03 per skein, but if you buy 10, you can get it for $1.83 a skein. And it is, like I said it, did I already say? Yes, it is, I already said it's mercerized cotton. And it's variegated. That's the other thing I wanted to tell you. It is variegated yarn, and they have numerous different colors to choose from. They also have some like eyelash yarns over there, the kind of stringy yarns. They have a bunch of other things, and that's not their clearance section. That is their Stars of the Month. That's the ones they've got on sale, but you can also go and check out their clearance section where they have a bunch of yarn on sale, because that's mostly where I do my shopping, is the clearance racks. My son used to say that clearance attracted me like a bug to a light. And he's so true. I love clearance sales. Knit crates, you can get, as always, 20% off your first subscription box, but you must use the coupon code KCreations20. Knit Picks, their yarn of the month for 20% off is Wonder Fluff, and they have it in different weights, but it is a blown yarn, so it's a netted type of yarn that they blow the fiber up into. And it's called Wonder Fluff. It's 20% off. They also are offering 20% off of all of their straight knitting needles and 30% off of their fixed circular needles. So not the interchangeable sets, their fixed circulars are 30% off. Leisure Arts, in their crochet section, they have a book in their bestsellers. I checked out their bestsellers. Terrific totes. So it's all kinds of totes that you can make in crochet. They also have a book called Scrubbies, which is all kinds of like dishcloths with the little scrubby yarn that's in it as well. Over in the knitted section, talking about my cozy memory blanket, they actually have a book called Mitered Square Knitting, and you can do all different types of things by different sized mitered squares. And the mitered square is very versatile. You could use it. The ones I made for my cozy memory blanket were 35 stitches, so they come out to about that big, about 3 inches square. But if you made it larger, you could have a dishcloth. You could make it even larger yet and make, like a granny square or an Afghan if you made it really big. So they are versatile. You could do a pillow with them. As long as you have an odd number of stitches, you can do the mitered square. And so anyway, there is an entire book over there called Mitered Square Knitting on things to do with mitered squares. And then lastly, we have Lion Brand, and Lion Brand has up to 70% off in their clearance section, but they also are offering 35% off site-wide. You do need to use the coupon code site-wide 35, but you can get 35% off of your order. And they are also having a sale on their crocheted and their knitted kits. So that's the pattern and the yarn that are in cotton. So they're all summer kits in, like I said, in knitted and in crocheted. And you can go check those out. So those are the sales for this week. Upcoming videos, we do have the Magic Knot video coming up on Wednesday. I'm expecting my Knit Crate box to come in sometime this week, so whenever it comes in, I will share it with you guys. I've gotten a preview, so I know that it's going to be either kind of a washed out denim or a washed out kind of pink, because the color theme this month was calico. And so, yeah, we'll see which one we get. They both were pretty, so I think I'm going to like either one, but I'm leaning more towards the blue, but I'm sure I'll like both because I like pink as well. So that video will be coming out as soon as I get my Knit Crate box in. And like I said at the beginning of the video, please give me your thoughts on how I can improve this, whether you think the videos are too long and you'd like me to shorten them, if you think they're just right. I know me, when I'm watching videos, if they go beyond about 45 minutes, my eyes glaze over and I get bored and I find myself scrolling through the video just to see the points that I want to watch. And I want to make this interesting for everybody, so just give me your thoughts down below. And I appreciate you all watching, and I will see you definitely on Wednesday and sometime else this week whenever the Knit Crate box comes in. So if you've enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up, and thanks for stopping by.